Good evening. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams and with me is Aditi Lumba with the evening news. The headlines. UN General Assembly adopts India's resolution to declare 2023 as International Year of Millets. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says India is honoured to be at the forefront of popularising millets. BJP Central Election Committee meets in New Delhi in the wake of upcoming Assembly election. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar visits Dhaka, says Bangladesh is central to India's neighbourhood first policy. India commemorates Chabahar Day. External Affairs Minister says Chabahar Port facilitated delivery of humanitarian assistance during COVID-19 pandemic. Employee Provident Fund Organisation EPFO retains interest rate at 8.5% for 2020-21, extends social security benefits to Jammu, Kashmir and Ladakh. Bengaluru and Shimla among the most livable cities across the country, Union Housing and Urban Affairs Minister issues Ease of Living Index. India receives highest ever FDI of over $67 billion during the period of April to December 2020. Indian shuttlers PV Sindhu, Kidambi Shrikant, Sai Praneeth and Ajay Jairam enter the quarter-finals of Swiss Open Badminton Tournament. And in cricket, India were 24 for 1 in their first innings at stumps in response to 205 runs by England on the opening day of the fourth test at Ahmedabad. As the nation fights the COVID-19 pandemic, we begin with a message of precaution to stay safe and protected by following these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki doori for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. And now the news in detail. The United Nations has unanimously declared 2023 as the International Year of Millets. The 193-member UN General Assembly adopted a resolution sponsored by India and supported by over 70 nations declaring 2023 as the International Year of Millets. The resolution, titled International Year of Millets 2023, was initiated by India with Bangladesh, Kenya, Nepal, Nigeria, Russia and Senegal and was co-sponsored by over 70 nations. India's permanent representative to the UN, Ambassador T.S. Tirumurthy, said it is a big step to promote nutritional and ecological benefits of millets in the world as a key component of the food basket and effect policy changes. He expressed gratitude to all co-sponsors. He also expressed delight that all member states enjoyed the delicious millet mudukku distributed by the Indian Mission. Millets can grow on poor soils and are resistant or tolerant to many crop diseases and pests. They can also survive adverse climatic conditions. Nutritionist Dr. Meenal Jain spoke about the benefits of including millets in the daily diet.
All of us must understand that they are packed with protein, good quality carbohydrates, fiber and many minerals. One interesting thing about millets is it's not just chapati, but we can make so many interesting dishes from them like chila, papad, khakra, and you just go to grocery store, you get so many products. It's beneficial for a healthy person and they can be consumed by the individuals who want to reduce weight, who want to reduce their sugar levels, cholesterol levels. They have some disturbance in lipid profile. So millets are old traditional food and we all must go for it.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has expressed gratitude to all the nations who initiated and co-sponsored the resolution on International Year of Millets at the United Nations. In a tweet, Mr. Modi said India is honoured to be at the forefront of popularising millets, whose consumption furthers nutrition, food security and welfare of farmers. He said it also offers research and innovation opportunities for agriculture scientists and start-up communities. The Prime Minister said the distinguished delegates were also served delicious millet mudukku. Mr. Modi said this is one snack he relished and urged everyone to try it as well.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will hold a virtual summit with his Swedish counterpart Stefan Löfven tomorrow. During the summit, the two leaders will hold comprehensive discussions on the entire spectrum of the bilateral relations and exchange views on regional and global issues, including further strengthening of the cooperation in the post-COVID times. This will be the fifth interaction between the two leaders since 2015. In April last year, the two Prime Ministers had a telephonic conversation to discuss the situation arising out of the COVID-19 pandemic. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will receive the CERAWeek Global Energy and the Environment Leadership Award tomorrow. He will also deliver a keynote address at the Cambridge Energy Research Associates Week 2021 via video conferencing. CERAWeek was founded in 1983 by Dr. Daniel Yergin. CERAWeek Global Energy and Environment Leadership Award was instituted in 2016. It recognizes the commitment of leadership on the future of global energy and environment and for offering solutions and policies for energy access, affordability and environmental stewardship.
The BJP Central Election Committee meeting is underway in New Delhi to finalize the party's first list of candidates for 5 assembly polls. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, BJP President J.P. Nadda and other senior party leaders including Union Ministers Amit Shah and Rajnath Singh are attending the meeting at the party headquarters. In the meeting, the party is expected to clear the names of BJP candidates for the first phase of polls in Assam and West Bengal. The Congress Central Election Committee will also meet on the 6th of this month to clear the names of candidates for West Bengal and Assam Assembly elections. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar was on a day-long visit to Bangladesh today. The visit was intended to prepare for the forthcoming visit of Prime Minister Narendra Modi to Bangladesh to participate in the birth centenary celebration of Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujib, 50 years of liberation of Bangladesh and establishment of diplomatic ties with India. Our Dhaka correspondent Rajesh Jha has sent this report.
The day-long visit of the External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar to Dhaka started off with a meeting with his Bangladeshi counterpart Dr. A.K. Abdul Momen. Addressing media after the meeting, Dr. Jaishankar said that Bangladesh is central to India's neighborhood first policy. He said that the importance of Bangladesh is growing in India's Act East policy. The External Affairs Minister said that India and Bangladesh are working hard to expand their relationship in all dimensions, ranging from security, trade, transport and connectivity, culture, people-to-people ties, energy, joint development of shared resources to defense. He said that the comfort level of the two countries is so high that there is no issue which they cannot solve by amicable discussion. Speaking about cooperation between the two countries during the COVID pandemic, Dr. Jaishankar said that Bangladesh is the largest recipient of 9 million doses of Made in India vaccine. External Affairs Minister also paid a courtesy call on Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina during his Bangladesh visit. Rajesh Jha, AIR News, Dhaka.
India today commemorated Chabahar's Day on the sidelines of the Maritime India Summit 2021. The event was held virtually. Ministers from Afghanistan, Armenia, Iran, Kazakhstan, Russia and Uzbekistan participated in the event. Addressing the ministerial-level opening session, External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar said the shift in the fulcrum of global economic growth towards Asia is creating unprecedented opportunities for connectivity in the region.
Today's event reflects India's strong commitment to work together with all regional stakeholders to enhance connectivity in our region and to provide unhindered access to the sea to landlocked Central Asian countries through Chabahar. Today's event also commemorates 5 years of the signing of the tripartite agreement on the establishment of a trilateral transport and transit corridor. This agreement is a fitting tribute to the rich civilizational, cultural and trade links between India, Afghanistan, Iran and Central Asia.
Dr. Jaishankar said Chabahar Port has not only emerged as a commercial transit hub for the region but also facilitated the delivery of humanitarian assistance, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic.
The Central Board of the EPFO today recommended 8.5% annual rate of interest for the financial year 2020 and 21. The decision was taken in the 228th meeting of the Central Board of Trustees, EPF, which was held today in Srinagar, Jammu and Kashmir, under the chairmanship of Labour Minister Santosh Kumar Gangwar. The minister informed that the interest rate would be officially notified in the Government Gazette, following which EPFO would credit the rate of interest into the subscribers' accounts. Since the year 2014, EPFO has consistently generated returns not less than 8.5%. EPFO over the years has been able to distribute higher income to its members through various economic cycles with minimal credit risk. Considering the high credit profile of the EPFO investment, the interest rate of EPFO is considerably higher than other comparable investments avenues available for subscribers. For the current fiscal, EPFO has decided to liquidate investment, and the interest rate recommended is a result of combined income from interest received from debt investment as well as income realized from the equity investment. The social security coverage of establishments under EPFO in Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh has increased by 38% from 3,458 on 31st October 2019 to 4,754 on 31st January 2021. The benefits of social security schemes of EPFO in these union territories have been extended to 2.11 lakh subscribers by January this year as compared to 1.29 lakh in October 2019, registering a remarkable growth of 63%. Labour Ministry has informed that this has enabled EPFO to provide higher returns to its subscribers and still allowing EPFO with healthy surplus to act as cushion for providing higher returns in the future also.
Minister for Housing and Urban Affairs Hardeep Singh Puri today announced the release of the final rankings of Ease of Living Index 2020 and the Municipal Performance Index 2020 in New Delhi today in an online event. The rankings under Ease of Living Index 2020 were announced for cities with a population of more than 1 million and cities with less than 1 million people. In all, 111 cities participated in the assessment exercise that was conducted last year. Bengaluru emerged as the top performer in the million-plus category, followed by Pune, Ahmedabad, Chennai, Surat, Navi Mumbai, Coimbatore, Vadodara, Indore and Greater Mumbai. In the less than million category, Shimla was ranked the highest in ease of living, followed by Bhubaneswar, Silvassa, Kakinada, Salem, Vellore, Gandhinagar, Gurugram, Davangere and Tiruchirappalli. The Municipal Performance Index examined the sectoral performance of 111 municipalities, with Delhi being assessed separately for NDMC and the 3 municipal corporations across 5 verticals, which comprise 20 sectors and 100 indicators in all totality. The 5 verticals under Municipal Performance Index are services, finance, policy, technology and governance. Speaking on the occasion, Mr. Puri said,
under the Smart Cities project, the fact that you have more than 50 command and control centers operational, the choice is not between a smart city and a not so smart city. The choice is between smart city and decay. Either you smartify a city or the city is going to stagnate and go into decay. A smart city is about urban rejuvenation. A smart city is about governance. It is about accountability. It is about ease of living.
India received the highest ever foreign direct investments of over $67 billion for the first 9 months of a financial year last year. During the period of April to December 2020, FDI equity inflow grew by 40% as compared to the corresponding period in the last financial year. As per Ministry of Commerce and Industry, these trends are an endorsement of India's status as a preferred investment destination amongst global investors. Measures being taken by the government on the fronts of policy reforms, investment facilitation and ease of doing business have resulted in tremendous FDI inflows into the country. The Supreme Court today said that some kind of screening is needed for shows and web series being telecast on over-the-top OTT platforms and asked the government to place the recently framed regulation before it by tomorrow. Here is a desk report.
The Supreme Court's observation came during the hearing of a petition filed by Amazon India head Aparna Purohit. Aparna Purohit has challenged the Allahabad High Court order denying pre-arrest bail to her in criminal cases registered in connection with web series Tandav. A bench headed by Justice Ashok Bhushan said few OTT platforms are showing some kind of pornographic content. The bench, also comprising Justice R.S. Reddy, said that a balance has to be struck. The Apex Court posted the matter for hearing tomorrow, asking the centre to submit before it the regulations on OTT platforms like Netflix and Amazon Prime. Swati Rakheja, News Desk.
Meanwhile, Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar held a meeting today with representatives of OTT industry and explained to them the provisions of the new OTT rules. Mr. Javadekar said all representatives from OTT industry welcomed the fresh guidelines issued by the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, adding they would partner together towards making the experience on the OTT platforms better for the audience.
BJP today hit back at the senior Congress leader Rahul Gandhi for criticizing the government over the income tax rates at the premises of some Bollywood celebrities. In a tweet, senior BJP leader and Union Minister Prakash Javadekar criticized Mr. Gandhi for giving lessons on media freedom and reminded the Congress of the Gagging Act against the media during the emergency. Briefing reporters in New Delhi, another BJP leader, Gaurav Bhatia, asserted that Narendra Modi government has given complete freedom to probe agencies, and if somebody breaks the law, then probe agencies will do their job. Earlier, Rahul Gandhi had criticized the government on the IT raids and accused it of using probe agencies to target voices critical of the government. You're listening to the evening news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. UN General Assembly adopts India's resolution to declare 2023 as International Year of Millets. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says India is honoured to be at the forefront of popularising millets. BJP Central Election Committee meets in New Delhi in the wake of upcoming Assembly election. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar visits Dhaka, says Bangladesh is central to India's neighbourhood first policy. India commemorates Chabahar Day. External Affairs Minister says Chabahar Port facilitated delivery of humanitarian assistance during COVID-19 pandemic. Employee Provident Fund Organisation, EPFO, retains interest rate at 8.5% for 2020-21, extends social security benefits to Jammu Kashmir and Ladakh. Bengaluru and Shimla among the most livable cities across the country. Union Housing and Urban Affairs Minister issues Ease of Living Index. India receives highest ever FDI of over $67 billion during the period April-December 2020. India shuttlers PV Sindhu, Kidambi Srikanth, Sai Praneeth, Ajay Jairam into the quarterfinals of Swiss Open Badminton Tournament, and in cricket, India were 24 for 1 in the first innings at stuns in response to 205 runs by England on the opening day of the fourth test at Ahmedabad. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो कुछ वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे.
Welcome back to the evening news. The offer for sale of Aircon International Limited closed with good interest from retail investors and 2.06 times subscription. Secretary, Department of Investment and Public Asset Management said in a tweet, with this, Aircon is now minimum public shareholding compliant. Secretary Tuhin Kant Pandey thanked all investors for their participation. More than 1,66,16,000 doses of COVID-19 vaccines have been administered to beneficiaries in the country so far. The Health and Family Welfare Ministry today informed that a total of 9,94,452 doses of vaccines were administered in the last 24 hours. Meanwhile, the country's COVID-19 recovery rate presently stands at 97.03%, with a total recovery of more than 14,000 patients within 24 hours. Puducherry Lieutenant Governor Dr. Tamilisai Soundararajan has appealed to the people of Puducherry through All India Radio to take COVID-19 vaccine without any fear or hesitation.
Dr. Tamilisai herself is a gynecologist, visited Air News studio to share her views and encourage the public for COVID-19 vaccination. In an exclusive interview to Air News, Puducherry, LG stated that all the eligible people like senior citizens aged above 60 years and those above 45 years with comorbidity conditions must be motivated to take the vaccine.
தடுப்பூசி தயக்கம் என்பது தயவு செய்து இருக்கக்கூடாது என்பதைத்தான் ஒரு இயக்கமாக புதுச்சேரி மாநிலத்தில் நாம் முன்னெடுத்து சென்று கொண்டிருக்கிறோம்.
Dr. Tamilisai also appealed to the people to strictly adhere to the COVID-19 preventive norms so as to prevent the spread of the pandemic. In order to expedite the immunization drive, Chandra Mohan, Air News, Puducherry.
2 special observers are expected to reach pole-bound West Bengal by this weekend. According to the sources in the state CEO office, Special Observer Ajay Nayak and Special Police Observer Vivek Dubey are scheduled to arrive in Kolkata tomorrow. They will be meeting with the CEO and other poll officials of the state before moving towards the poll-bound districts according to the phases. BJP today demanded the Election Commission to remove TMC leaders who are still heading municipal corporations despite their term ending a year back. A delegation of party leaders met the commission in New Delhi over the issue. Talking to reporters after the meeting, senior BJP leader Bhupendra Yadav said there are 125 local bodies in West Bengal which are being led by TMC leaders unconstitutionally, and their appointment is against Municipal Corporation Act of West Bengal. In Tamil Nadu, the Chief Electoral Officer Satyabrata Sahu has said that voter information slip would be issued in place of photo voter slip. This will include information like polling station, date and time of the poll, among the others. All the district election officers have been directed to distribute the voter information slip at least 5 days before the date of poll to be all enrolled electors.
The United States yesterday reaffirmed its commitment to the Indo-US Global Strategic Partnership. Speaking to media, a spokesperson of the U.S. State Department, Mr. Ned Price, said the U.S. has authorized over $20 billion worth of defense sales to India.
Secretary Blinken has had now a couple opportunities to speak to his Indian counterpart, both bilaterally and in the context of the Quad. The United States has important relationships with India. We have a global comprehensive strategic partnership. As of this year, the United States has authorized over $20 billion in defense sales to India. It's these offers of advanced U.S. defense platforms that demonstrate our commitment to India's security and sovereignty. It demonstrates our commitment to that global comprehensive strategic partnership.
International Women's Day is celebrated on the 8th of March. All India Radio News honors women achievers from diverse fields by bringing their stories. Today we will bring to you the stories of women who have done exceptional service to society. Dr. Kriti Bharti and her trust, Sarthi Trust, are working relentlessly against child marriage. She is known for child marriage annulment. Dr. Bharti from Jodhpur, Rajasthan, has till now annulled 41 child marriages in Rajasthan and has prevented 1,400 child marriages across the country. Apart from working against child marriages, she is also working on all the issues related to Juvenile Justice Act. Talking to All India Radio News, Dr. Bharti says, till now more than 7,000 children have been rehabilitated.
सेक्सुअल ऑफेंसेस पे भी काम कर रहे हैं, हम लोग चाइल्ड लेबर पे भी काम कर रहे हैं, जुवेनाइल जस्टिस एक्ट से रिलेटेड जो इश्यूज हैं उन पे, चाइल्ड ट्रैफिकिंग के हैं, चाइल्ड प्रोटेक्शन इश्यूज हैं, विमेन प्रोटेक्शन इश्यूज हैं, इन सब पे काम कर रहे हैं। साथ में एजुकेशन पे भी काम कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि बाल विवाह निरस्त ऐसा है जो कोई और नहीं कर रहा। अभी तक हमने 41 बाल विवाह निरस्त करवा दिए हैं। उसके अलावा हमने 1400 बाल विवाह रुकवा दिए हैं, ये पूरे देश में। 7,000 बच्चों को पुनर्वासित कर चुके हैं, जो कि अलग अलग इश्यूज, चाइल्ड प्रोटेक्शन इश्यूज के थे। उसके अलावा अभी तक 6,500 औरतों को रिहैबिलिटेट कर चुके हैं।
Key indices at the domestic stock market snapped 3 days of gains to decline over 1% today. While the rupee weakened slightly against the US dollar, in the international markets, crude oil prices firmed up further. A report from the Business World.
Sensex at the Bombay Stock Exchange declined by 599 points or 1.2% to close at 50,846. Nifty slipped by 165 points or 1.1% to close at 15,081. Key indices at other Asian markets ended mostly lower. Global crude oil prices rose for the second straight day on the possibility that OPEC Plus producers might decide against increasing output at a key meeting later in the day. So Brent crude futures rose by 53 cents to trade at $64.60 a barrel. Back home at the multi-commodity exchange, gold futures for April were trading 87 rupees lower at 44,861 rupees per 10 grams. And at the foreign exchange market, the rupee weakened by 12 paise to 72 rupees and 83 paise against the US dollar. Arjun Chowdhury for AIR News.
Now news from the sports world.
Indian shuttlers PV Sindhu, Kidambi Shrikant, Sai Praneeth and Ajay Jairam have advanced to the quarterfinals of the singles competition at the Swiss Open Super 300 badminton tournament. Reigning women's world champion Sindhu cruised into the last 8 with a straight games win 21-13, 21-14 over USS Irish Wang, while Jairam stunned Swiss third seed Rasmus Jamke 21-18, 17-21, 21-13 to reach the quarterfinals. World Championships bronze medalist Sai Praneeth beat Spain's Pablo Abian 21-12, 21-17, while K. Shrikant defeated France's Thomas Roxel 21-10, 14-21, 21-14 to enter the quarterfinals. Indian mixed doubles pair of Satvik Sairaj Rankireddy and Ashwini Ponappa also progressed to the quarterfinals. However, Saina Nehwal, Parupalli Kashyap and Saurav Verma have crashed out of the tournament. In cricket, India were 24 for 1 in the first innings at stumps on day 1 of the fourth and final test match against England at the Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad. Rohit Sharma on 8 and Chiteshwar Pujara on 15 were at the crease when stumps were drawn this this evening. Opener Shubman Gill was removed for a duck by James Anderson. Earlier, England were bowled out for 205 as local boy Akshar Patel again troubled the visitors by removing 4 wickets for 68 runs. Veteran spinner Ravichandran Ashwin took 3 wickets while Mohammad Siraj claimed 2 wickets. For the visitors, Ben Stokes scored 55 runs while Dan Lawrence made 46 runs. England won the toss and opted to bat first. India have made one change. Siraj replaced Jasprit Bumrah. Skipper Virat Kohli's team needs a win or a draw to book a slot with New Zealand in the inaugural World Test Championship final. An England win would put Australia into the decider at Lord's in June. In that case, Australia will face its trans-Tasmanian neighbour, New Zealand. Asian champion pugilist Pooja Rani entered the semi-finals to secure a medal in the 75kg category at the 35th Boxem International Boxing Tournament in Castellón, Spain. Pooja Rani is a 3-time Asian medalist and also a 2014 Asian Games bronze winner. In late-night bouts yesterday, Olympic-bound Rani defeated Italian Assunta Canfora to join the seasoned MC Mary Kom, 51kg, Simranjit Kaur, 60kg, and debutant Jasmine, 57kg in the last 4 stage. Mary Kom enters the semis of the Boxem International assured of a medal. With report of Paras Chauhan, this is Abhishek Mukhopadhyay from Sports Desk.
The News Services Division of All India Radio and its bilingual live phone-in program tonight will bring you a special discussion on COVID-19. Dr. Aparna Agarwal, Professor Medicine, Lady Hardinge Medical College will participate in the discussion. Listeners can ask questions to the expert on toll-free telephone number 1-800-11-5767. You can also ask questions on telephone number 011-2331-4444 and post queries on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts by hashtag AskAIR. This can be heard on FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:30 p.m. onwards.
Prime Minister of Barbados, Mia Amor Motley, has lauded India for providing COVID-19 vaccines. In a tweet, she said, Prime Minister Narendra Modi made it possible for more than 40,000 people in Barbados and tens of thousands elsewhere to receive their first dose of Covishield by vaccine Maitri before receiving his. Ms. Motley called it a genuine demonstration of generosity. In Uttarakhand, budget of 57,400.32 crores for the year 2021-22 was presented by Chief Minister Mr. Trivendra Singh Rawat today in Bahrain. Chief Minister declared Garasen as the third commissionary of the state, which will include Chamoli, Rudraprayag, Almora, Bageshwar districts.
Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow. National capital Delhi is likely to face strong surface winds during daytime. Temperature will hover between 13 and 33 degrees Celsius. Mumbai will have a mainly clear sky. Minimum temperature will be 22 degrees Celsius, while the maximum is expected to be around 39. Chennai is expected to have mainly clear sky. Temperature will vary between 22 and 33 degrees. Kolkata will also have a mainly clear sky. The city will observe minimum temperature of 23 degrees, maximum around 36. Srinagar will have a mainly clear sky, becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. Temperature will hover between 2 and 19 degrees Celsius. Jammu will have a mainly clear sky. Minimum temperature will be 13 degrees, while maximum will be around 28. Leh is expected to have a mainly clear sky. Minimum temperature will be around -7 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around 8 degrees. Gilgit and Muzaffarabad will have a mainly clear sky. In Gilgit, temperature will hover between 6 and 22 degrees. In Muzaffarabad, temperature will vary between 8 and 27 degrees Celsius. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. UN General Assembly adopts India's resolution to declare 2023 as International Year of Millets. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says India is honoured to be at the forefront of popularising millets. BJP's Central Election Committee meets in New Delhi in the wake of upcoming Assembly elections. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar visits Dhaka, says Bangladesh is central to India's neighbourhood first policy. India commemorates Chabahar Day. External Affairs Minister says Chabahar port facilitated delivery of humanitarian assistance during COVID-19 pandemic. Employee Provident Fund Organization retains interest rate at 8.5% for 2020-21, extends social security benefits to Jammu, Kashmir and Ladakh. Bengaluru and Shimla among the most livable cities across the country. Union Housing and Urban Affairs Minister issues Ease of Living Index. India receives highest ever FDI of over $67 billion during period April-December 2020. Indian shuttlers PV Sindhu, Kidambi Shrikant, Sai Praneeth and Ajay Jairam enter the quarterfinals of Swiss Open Badminton Tournament. And with that, we end the evening news. Good night.